man, the king, the god, this shit, Nick fucking Gage. You know how I start this off. Shout out to all my MDK gang members around the world. And I want to let everybody know, Blvd Bullies versus the World is a podcast. Every Tuesday, 7 p.m. live on YouTube with my motherfucking boy, Larry the Legend. And what the Blvd Bullies are doing, they're trying to ignite a revolution. Within the fans to unite and make the crowds electric again. So check out the Blvd Bullies vs. the World. 7 p.m. live Tuesdays with Larry the fucking Legend. MDK all fucking day.
Oh, sunrise, we can burn in hell forever.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the longest running episodic podcast on the Blvd Bullies YouTube channel. Welcome to Blvd Bullies versus the W. I'm your host, PK, and I am joined by my wrestling father, CZW Hall of Famer, former boat owner, Showcase Showdown winner. Drew Carey, not Bob Barker, but that's okay. He's a man of many talents. Most of them he does with his mouth. Fresh off of a little weekend jaunt, we come for him. We love him. 2 weeks in a row, on time, too. Ladies and gentlemen, Larry Legend.
Thank you, Pat. Hey, I sold one of those tie-dye shirts, the one that I gave you, one of those, it's about to go down VXS exclusive tie-dye shirts. I sold one of those in Chicago. So now I only have two, a medium and a 5XL.
Wait a second. You had a shirt bigger than 3X and you held out on me about it?
I believe I gave you 4X. I gave you 4X.
You had one more X?
I have one more X.
Oh, man.
You like to be in a shirt that makes you feel like you're in a muumuu.
I love muumuu shirt. I don't know how it came about or when I started it, but I always wore the tight pants. But then I said to myself, you know what it was? I used to wear tight pants, tight shirt back in the white belt days, you know? Back in the girls' jeans days, back in the flat ironed hair days. And I bought all these shirts in like the early 2000s. Adult small, youth large, medium. And all of those dope shirts are unwearable. So I said, I'm never going to let that happen again. I don't want to look like a freak. Give me the muumuu. But anyway, viewership down, but we're high as hell. Listen,
Hey, share. Everybody in the chat right now, everybody that tunes in, Casey Brown, Urka, can you guys share when we're live? Like, share it on Deathmatch Elite, share it on Deathmatch Elite 2.0, share it on, Meltzer, share it. And let everybody know that I support my brother, the Human Tornado. I bought his shirt.
Why are you on the Human Tornado shirt?
Because we're brothers. He's one of my many brothers.
Why is that you on that shirt?
See the nose?
You guys do have a very similar nostril structure.
Same tribe, bruh.
Human Tornado. What's the best Human Tornado clip? The one where he's doing like the dancing, right? It's CZW and he's like kicking their ass while he dances, right?
Yeah, but I would say that within the past 5 years. Wait, is that 2025? No.
20 years.
No. I'm talking about if you want to see something now. I would say his match with Penelope Ford at that Arquette Gage, Joey Janela, LA Confidential. That is definitely a worthy look. Him versus Pinnell in LA.
Pennell Ford. Pennell F.
Yes. Yes.
Movie review show. The Insides of Cinema. Blvd Bullies presents The Insides of Cinema, starring me, Schlack, and Bald Steve, my other father. A lot more work than I thought it was. I set myself the goal to have it done and posted by the 28th of February, and I have failed that goal. However, I am working tirelessly. It's more about the quality of the edit than it is the timing that it comes out. I know that's pretty much the opposite of what the internet really is about, but that's what I'm about. So we're still motivated from last week. All the T's and P's still working, and just know that I am editing away, I'm plugging away, and it is almost done. I am up to the third part, the final part of the video. And you know what it is, Larry? It's this goddamn PS5. It's this goddamn PS5, dude. It calls to me every waking moment. Friend of mine, I was out to dinner with a friend of mine last week, and we're talking about, romance, and he goes, you don't want to settle down? You don't want to, have kids or something, and I said, dude, I've owned every PlayStation. Why would I need a kid or a wife? I've had Nintendo, Super Nintendo, Super Nintendo, Sega Genesis, Nintendo 64, PlayStation 1, PlayStation 2, PlayStation 3, PlayStation 4, PlayStation 5. I've lived in the greatest era of virtual entertainment thus far. Why do I need to fit a square peg in a round hole and just get enough of a wife that I like when I have PlayStation 5?
Settle. You'll settle. That's what everyone does. They settle.
Yeah. The only thing I'm settling is that I should get a better TV for my PS5. That's the only settling I'm doing right now.
So I'm very much like you. I often get gassed by babies because babies are a lot like kittens. So you acknowledge them and they just look at you and they're like, oh my God, this thing is acknowledging me.
Yeah, this an inquisitive baby is very cute.
Yeah, and I want to be like, I want to love you for all time. But here's the thing.
I don't want to raise you.
That baby will eventually be 17 years old. And I remember me at 17 years old. I didn't like me.
No. Can you imagine? Yeah, babies are cool. It's human beings that suck. Hey, shout out Prince Havoc in the chat. My co-host on Thursdays, another man who's been on time a lot lately. Thursdays on YouTube, Drunk Gaming. Me and Prince drink beers and play terrible, but we play video games terribly. Or at least I'm terrible. So shout out, tune into that. Yeah, so a lot of things going on this weekend, especially with you, Larry. I see that you brought a hat back from Chicago. But we would be...
And
go ahead.
And that's what makes this hat significant. You can get this hat anywhere. You can get this hat in New York. You can get it in Baltimore. You can get it in Philly. You can get it in LA. I got it in Chicago.
Matt McHugh, Blvd Bullies member and brother, he has a baby. He says, or that baby will wake you up at 1 o'clock in the morning and not let you go back to sleep, and then you run on fumes all day waiting to go back to sleep. But when you get home, the baby's there. The baby's in your home.
See, but dude, this is what I mean about a kitten. This is what I mean about the analogy of a baby and kitten. That's kind of exhilarating to me. That's kind of exhilarating to me to be the lifeblood of something that doesn't know shit.
Yeah, but for like a year or two.
Yeah, but once the kitten becomes a cat,
start scratching you,
like
pissing on your friends' jackets.
Yeah.
Sorry, I had a friend's cat piss on my jacket once.
Cat or kitten?
A kitten. Pissed all over my jacket. That's why I won't have kids, because that kitten pissed on my jacket. And, you know, I have another friend where I was at, I guess this was like around Christmas. I go, oh, you just had a baby. Congratulations. How's that? How's that going? And he goes, I fucking hate it. He goes, you know, and it's like all I do is get up, and I'm just a vessel that brings it to the breast. You know, it's like the baby loves mom, but it doesn't even care about me. I just bring it, I just transport it to the nipple, to the breast. You know, and he's like, I don't even think the kid loves me, and I don't sleep anymore. I was like, wow, that sounds horrible. And then my other friend was standing there who has an 8-year-old. I goes, was it like that for you? He goes, no, it was awesome. And yeah, no, I lost my train of thought. Babies, though, they're the future.
You know, Pat.
Oh,
you may have.
I'm
lost
sorry. What
your
I was going
train
to
of
say is
thought.
that my boss has an amazing baby. It might be the cutest baby I've ever seen. Like Copperstone Gerber, little cherub, right? Thoughtful eyes, just like never in a bad mood. Just a great baby. And the dad I ran into the other day, and as I was leaving, and I say, how's fatherly life? And he goes, I've never wanted to be at work more. I've never wanted to go to, stay at, and be at work more than now as a father. And his baby's awesome. Boulevard Babies.
You know, Pat, you just put me onto something. I think it's really dependent on the season of the birth of the baby. Take, for example, you and I. We're born during what is traditionally seen as a season of giving, a season of getting together with your family, eating turkey and exchanging gifts. It's all love. But imagine if you banged a girl not around Valentine's Day, like how we were born. We were Sagittariuses are, you know, we're Valentine's.
Well, I figured
baby.
it out. My parents banged on St. Patrick's Day. 17th, 9 months from then, the 15th, Patrick.
Were you preemie or were you on time?
I feel like I was on time.
The point of it is that our season of our parents banging was like a season of love. But imagine if you're like not born into a season of love. Imagine if you're born into like hot times, summer in the city, back of my neck feeling dirt and gritty, you know?
Oh my God, there's nothing worse than a crying baby, although except like a crying baby in the middle of a heat wave. I'm surprised more parents don't kill their babies, to be honest with you.
Pat, don't say that.
I'm not saying I would or anyone should. I'm just surprised that they don't.
But the reason I say don't say that is a lot of parents end up offing themselves. You know that, right?
Oh, so they don't kill the baby. They can never kill the baby. They kill themselves.
They're like, I can't. And it's off with your head.
Wow, we've been live for less than 20 minutes, and we've already been demonetized, most likely. And, you know, before we started about killing yourself and killing babies, when I said transport to the breast, I thought we were in trouble. Now we're completely far off the rails. You know how much they care about this stuff, Larry.
Let's get on target.
Yo, so real quick, I want to talk about your trip to Chicago. I want to talk about your jaunt, your adventure. But, you know, I was just thinking about your hat, and it's like, okay, if you're from Chicago and you buy a Chicago Bulls hat from like a vendor on the street, you're like, you're weird. But if you're from New York and you buy a Chicago Bulls beanie in Chicago to bring home, you know, to wherever you live, Baltimore, New York, that's totally okay. That's totally okay. And I don't know how that relates to anything that we're about to talk about, but it's just interesting. It's just fascinating.
Can I tell you a story about this beanie?
Please.
I bought two. I bought a rare black and yellow Jordan. You know, Jordan doing the dunk. Okay. I bought a rare black and yellow Jordan doing the dunk. And then I saw this. And I was like, I want that too.
Yeah.
And I asked the guy, how much are they? He was like $6.99. And Pat, when I reached up for this one, I could not get it off of the thing that it was hanging on. It was like the plastic thing was like very secure. And I couldn't get it off. And then I was like, you know what? Fuck it. I'm not here to spend money. I'm here to make money. So fuck that army. Fuck that Blvd Bullies.
Yeah.
But then I went back to the gas station. I went once with Michael Kruger, the demon in flesh. I went with Michael Kruger. And then I went back for a White Claw surge.
Cheers.
And the second time I went into the gas station, I was like, you know what? I'm a Sagittarius. You're not gonna deny me.
I'm not gonna
shit.
let this hat defeat
And
me.
I stood there in front of the guy on my tippy toes, and I got that shit down.
Hell yeah, dude. I love that
Yep.
story. Hey, you know
Yep,
what happened?
I just want to say I saw this hat first, tried to get it and couldn't. Went back and got the bitch.
It was a Defiant hat, but you won the day.
The day is mine.
The hat is on your head. By the way, side note, side quest, very, very fancy, beautiful, amazing. Crew neck, champion logo embroidered on the sleeve, on the sleeve, sweatshirt with Bullies on the front in Chicago Bulls font. And the good old number 23, just to let everybody know, it's a symbol, a number of excellence. $60! $60 on the Blvd Bullies store. Nobody's purchased it.
Well, I sold my tie-dye medium.
That's right. Yes,
And it was to a girl, so I gave her a break.
Hey, you're a man of the people.
Let's get into the news.
Let me try to say this as least excited as possible. John Cena turned heel. Because if I get too excited, I might wind up on WWE programming. If I go like this, I might end up in a WWE clip. Larry, I have a new mission in life, and we're going to get into John Cena, of course, which, by the way, we like to talk shit, but it was amazing. I have a new goal in life, dude. I want to get on. I want to get on. I want to get our reactions on one of these fucking things. I want one of our tweets or one of our reactions. And then I'm not going to stop there, Lar. I want to be in the room.
Lar?
And I want to ask. Yeah, I've never done. Why did I do that?
Because you know me.
Dad. I'm not going to stop there, Dad. And I'm not going to stop there, Bulls of the Wood. I'm going to get into the room, dude. We are going to get into the room. I don't think... I think if we started a new YouTube channel today, we would have a better chance of that YouTube channel getting into the room than the Blvd Bullies ever getting a whiff of a WWE press conference. But our man...
I disagree. I disagree. I disagree. You don't know how many people know you. How many people are watching.
Well, that's the problem. That's the issue, Larry, that they know me.
I guess you're right. They know you.
The Blvd Bullies reputation precedes itself. You know what I'm saying? And even if it doesn't, I'm like, oh, we're not into bullies. That's like, you just take one look at the name, you know what it means. We need to make a YouTube channel called Wrestling Boulevard. And we need to make a fake YouTube channel where it's like AI controlled. Just a fucking content farm. Just churning them out, dude. Just churning them out. And I think then we might have a chance. If Wrestling Boulevard gets off the ground, I think we might be able to. You know what I mean? Yo, so the boy, the lad, the kid who we've been talking about the last few weeks on the show, Muscle Man Malcolm, who's like dope, and his gimmick is, and he's smart, because Blvd Bullies went up to wrestlers and asked them, fuck, marry, kill. Where we Wrestle Boulevard would ask people what their Waffle House order is. Duh. So that's Malcolm's gimmick, is he asked the wrestlers their Waffle House order. And the dude was in the room. Huge fan of Blvd Bullies. Blvd Bullies inspired him to start making content. And he was in the room and he asked the fucking Rock his Waffle House order, and I think The Rock lied. Because The Rock lied about being at In-N-Out Burger. So he definitely lied about Waffle House.
Wait, Malcolm talked to The Rock?
Muscle Man Malcolm talked to The Rock. I literally just said the entire story. I said the whole thing. The whole thing that I just said was all about Muscle Man Malcolm talking to The Rock. Larry? He asked The Rock.
I met Muscle Man Malcolm.
I know we've been speaking about him. He was the cornerstone of me finding my smile again, Larry. You helped me be helped by Malcolm to find my smile. Are you hot? So, we'll get to John Cena later on. Tell me about your trip to Philadelphia for the Jimmy Controversy Rave Party, Warehouse Wrestling Blacklight Extravaganza.
Jimmy Rave, R.I.P., was a Sagittarius like you and I.
Did I say Jimmy Rave? I meant Jimmy Controversy's Rave, yeah.
The fact that you called it a Jimmy Rave is perfect. You don't gotta correct yourself. It's perfect. Bro, I have been to a lot of shows where the audience is not really there for the wrestling. And can I tell you that the people that were gathered for this thing, it was in Kensington. Kensington! They were not there for the wrestling.
Is that a bad neighborhood?
Bro, Schlack lives there.
I thought Schlack was from Schitt's Creek.
He is from up Schitt's Creek or down Schitt's Creek, depending on how I'm feeling. But he lives in Kensington, which is, if you ever go to YouTube and just type in Philly, Kensington, dude, it's all.
Oh, is that like the homeless?
Bro,
thing?
You don't know Kensington?
Yeah, I feel like Shane Gillis recently on a podcast said Google Kensington.
Bro, it's bad. It's bad.
Eddie Kensington.
And I went and I did this shit, and this is the point that I'm trying to make. Yo, there was such an aha moment when I realized that the majority of the fans were there for the DJs. Pat, I don't know who Jimmy Controversy knows, but he got like 2 DJs that are like huge rave DJs.
He loves raves.
Bro, and in between, much like the person who shall not be named, in between the fights, DJs would like spin. Pat, that is when those motherfucking people came alive.
Huge pop for the beat drop.
Dude, they were doing the jump. You know what I'm talking about? I don't go to raves.
Me neither. I just made up a.
Well, they were doing it. They were doing the like jump, wow, 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 wow. Bro, it was, bro, it was magnificent to me to experience these motherfuckers who actually came out, not for me and friends with TJ,
No
because
shot.
he was there in a bathrobe. Friends with TJ was there in a bathrobe.
TJ and friends?
Bro.
Was there in a bathrobe?
In a bathrobe, bro.
I fucking love
smoking all night long in a bathrobe. I'll have to
That's
send
so
you
cool.
I'll have to send you the unlisted clip of me. But I was marveling. I was marveling on Friday night in Kensington at the fact that the majority of the audience came there for the
ravers.
They
were just ravers.
Dude, it was wild.
That sounds awesome. Sounds like Jimmy Controversy got the right idea.
I think he maybe got it from He Who Shall Not Be Named, but I text Flat and I was like, yo, I'm in your neighborhood. Lots of helium balloons were inflated that night.
So when you go to a rave in a poor neighborhood, you don't do ecstasy, you do whippets?
Bro, Pat, listen to me. I'm 43 years old. I've done whippets. I used to work for Starbucks, but I also saw kids. I saw Harmony Korines' kids. And all night long, it was just like, I was like, yo, what is going on?
Somebody had a tank. They had a tank.
Whoa.
That's what it feels like to do whippets.
Yeah,
I guess it makes sense.
So, it was cold. I wish you were there to warm me, but it was cold, and I held that shit together. I made it a show. You know me.
And that's the best part of being the ring announcer, is that they see you the most. And it's like you gotta link it together. You gotta link it together. You gotta link it all together. That's very fascinating. That's very interesting. I've been seeing that the Angel Metro / Jimmy Controversy feud is being critically acclaimed, lauded, applauded as a great feud with great matches and great promos and good production. And I haven't watched 1 second, but I did see, I think, something that, with fire. Was there fire at the rave? Did Jimmy Controversy get set on fire?
The fire came from Tarzan Duran.
Of course it did.
The Tarzanian devil.
Of course it did. He loves fire. He brought his whole flaming club gimmick to the backyard.
He brought it to the rave.
So how was it used? Was it utilized? It was a fight of breathing.
He fought Daniel Alexander.
See, I feel like you could become good at fire handling by just practicing in your backyard. Maybe getting in a Facebook group of fire spitters or a fire twirling dancing Facebook group. The thing I don't understand is sword swallowing. Do they really swallow swords? I feel like that's the new wrestling to me, is swords, S-word swallow.
I mean, I guess it's not swallowing the sword, Pat. It's swallowing the inflamed sword. You know, a lot of the times
Are there
those who
flaming
swallow the
sword swallowers?
it's on fire.
What?
Yes, I've seen sword swallowers swallow an inflamed sword.
Larry, Chase in the chat. Hey, everyone, thanks for watching. Chase in the chat says, clip looked like there were about 10 fans there. Jimmy thought he could do a show at 11 p.m. Hey, rave culture, you're just getting started. Like norms, youngs, 20-somethings, 25ers, 11 p.m., you're just getting started. Larry, was the attendance the shits?
No.
What was it? Was it just like a warehouse? Was the ring in like a separate room? Was it like the Monarch in Brooklyn where there are many different rooms?
No. First of all, Chase, I love you. You're one of the only owners of a Larry Legend action figure.
Auction figure. I don't even have one of those.
I would say, based on my eyes, there were at least 80 people assembled at this thing. 80. You hear me, Pat?
I'm hearing
80.
you. I'm hearing you. I'm believing you. But I will also verify the clips that I saw. It looked a little spaced out.
Bro, very much like He Who Shall Not Be Named, these were not wrestling fans. They did not care about me. They did not care about Angel Metro. They did not care about, whatever. That was just an accoutrement.
Right, it's just a fun little keychain on the rave.
To the DJ.
The DJs. I hear you.
These were not people who were like, Larry. No one was like that.
Was the person who bought your shirt a norm? A raver?
The person who bought my shirt bought it in Chicago.
Oh, the following.
This is not, dude, Philly, Kensington is not a place that you set merch out. They'll steal it.
But the show went off without a hitch. Whippets were had by everybody. I know that we were talking about having Jimmy Controversy on the show. You want to have him on next week, Larry?
Yes.
Let's have him on next week. I'm going to hit him up.
Yes.
And we'll have him on next week.
Yes.
And by the way, also, side note, housekeeping. Last week went so well with the man with the $2,000 shirt, Rhinestone Cowboy. Larry, I've invited him back every single week at 8:30. I know our DM said 8:20, but between 8:20 and 8:30. So Larry, I just feel like that's brilliant and lovely because the three of us can talk when you're here, and when you're not here, me and him can talk. You know what I'm saying? For the final half hour. Isn't that great? Isn't that great? It's so weird that the phone mutes your clapping. Hey, what happened on March 1st, Saturday? Our friend, our fellow Bull of the Wood, Schlack, was fighting RSP in a 10,000 thumbtack death match for Ricky Shane Page's birthday. That was going on. Obviously, Elimination Chamber was going on, which was a hoot. And then you had the show that we sponsored, very poorly, I might add, We Love Wrestling Death Match Cup. Did I get that right? Death Wish Cup. Death Wish Cup. So what happened? What time did you leave the rave?
1:39 a.m.
Oh, that's not so bad at all. That's early for rave time. And what, you drove back to Baltimore, caught some Z's, and then caught an early flight to Chicago?
There were no Z's. There were no Z's.
No Z's were had.
No. Dude, I went to the pay window and I told the commentator, I said, whoever wins this, you announce it. And I left.
At
At
Kensington?
1:39, I did the main event intros. And then I said to the commentator, you got to do the rest of this. Bye.
I love this. I love this for you.
And I left.
And you drove straight home to Baltimore after
I
having
didn't want to leave, Pat. There was pussy. Did you hear me? Pussy to be had. I didn't leave. I left.
You didn't want to, though.
I didn't want to.
Your radar was up and you wanted to stay and creep. You wanted to stay and rave and creep. I mean, I feel like your dancing would be more than welcome at a rave. I saw you dance at Brian's wedding. And, I feel like they would love you. You really put it down, shake that thing.
I really wanted to come.
You wanted to fuck. But instead, you left. You gave some no-name commentator a rub, just like you did when you were in Blvd Bullies with Ringside Sean, and then you left.
Yeah. Yeah.
So you did like 24 whippets in 2.5 hours, and you left.
No. I was scared. I didn't know what this.
They're scary.
This wasn't me at Starbucks cracking a whippet in an empty whipped cream canister. And I didn't even realize till halfway through. I'm like, yo, what? Are these balloons being like, what's going on? And I'm like, oh, they're getting fucked up. They're getting fucked up.
They're talking about your action figures in the chat, Larry. Do you have any more action figures left?
Nope.
Sold out. Limited
I
run.
have three. All made by Blvd, but I want to get them in one of those plastic platform plastic casings. They're very delicate. I have three. Y'all want to buy them? $150 each. One is $150 each. One is Cannabis Suit Larry. One is black tuxedo, red bow tie Larry. And one is gold jacket. Gold bedazzled jacket. I have three. Each of them have a hat. A captain's hat, or something. $150 they go. I'll ship them tomorrow.
Hey, so you went home to Baltimore. You didn't catch any Z's, and then you hopped into the airport and you flew to Chicago. Where'd you fly into? O'Hare National Airport?
The same. Home Alone when they're running? I was there.
Beautiful.
I was at Home Alone. I was at Home Alone when they're running.
Beautiful airport, dude.
Dude, one of the greatest in all of the country.
So what time did you arrive in Chicago? Enough time to get a deep dish pizza?
9:55 in the morning.
Oh, hell yeah, dude. That's like a nice little day trip.
Well, Pat, I do a rental.
Right, of course.
Well, the rental was to Philly. I couldn't afford another rental to Chicago the next day in Chicago. So I had to wait. Or actually, I lifted. I lifted myself from O'Hare to the venue.
Nice. And yeah, Death Wish Cup went off with a biggity bang.
They laughed. Chicago is not used to me saying that things will start up with a biggity bang. They laughed.
They laughed. You got a laughing.
I gotta gahuff. What's it called? A guffuff? A gahuff?
You know, I think that there is an element of camp and hilarity to your performance and presentation. So I don't think that I wouldn't be discouraged by a laugh. Because you are very, very funny, but in a tongue-in-cheek, over-the-top announcer type of way.
Tom Green.
Yeah, there's an element of extremism and surrealism.
Yeah.
You know, it's like it's almost there's a but there's no cracks. You can't see any cracks. Whereas like with me, when I'm up there trying to be like fake serious, there are cracks. And I'm not saying you're fake serious, it's just how it presents itself. But there is an element of over the topedness and hilarity. And biggity bang is right there. It's a more modern Larry, but it's still right there.
I mean, Pat, you're hitting the nail. You're hitting the nail because the only time I've ever really been to Chicago is with Danny DeMonto's No Holds Barred.
Never heard of it.
Okay. Well, biggity bang is how I used to start those shows. But it was mostly a line delivered in New Jersey, in the Garden State. So for Chicagoans to hear biggity bang, they were like, oh, shit, we're at a show now. This motherfucking black guy's out here in his dead uncle's duster talking about a biggity bang.
Hello, my honey.
Yes. No, everybody do the W. Everybody loves the W.
So you wore the duster.
Yes.
You wore the duster and you had on like shiny red and black dunks.
Bird ones. They're called I'm sorry, the bread ones. I don't know sneaker culture, but they're called bread ones. Bread one.
Wow, I feel like I just unlocked like a new sense of joy because we've never really spoken about your presentation and overall aura. Well, that's kind of yeah. We never really talked about it. We've always just both accepted that you are you. Never really spoke about the X's and O's behind it until right now here on the air.
Nobody ever does. It's okay.
But I feel like that's a sign of it being great because, like I said, there's no cracks. You can't tell.
Well, I'm probably gonna end up on Botchamania.
No.
Yeah.
For the rave or for Chicago?
For Chicago.
What'd you do? Did you slip? Did you trip and fall? Were those birds fucking slippery?
During the finals of the Death Wish Cup, I made a mistake and I said, in tournament action this evening, you have seen him qualify for the finals of this tournament of death.
You called it the tournament of death? Oh, Larry, no! No! I mean, luckily, I don't think it's going to get picked up on Botchamania, Larry. You deserve it. You fucking deserve it. But I don't think because, think about it. Like, Botchamania, the clips are very quick, very concise, and for that joke to land would be too much editing work. Like, the audience would have to know what Tournament of Death is, then they'd have to know that you were at a thing that wasn't it, and that you accidentally, I think you're safe from BOM, dude. I'm listening. I'm sorry.
It wasn't just that I called it the Tournament of Death. it was that then I paused after saying that to allow a fan, very similar to the way that you would be, shout out in the quietness of me realizing that I had made a mistake. Go, it's the Death Wish Cup.
Oh, dude, yeah, a man after my own heart. I would have been all over you back at 2300 CZW 9th anniversary.
Dude, this was a front row fan.
Yeah, well, front row fan, that's their fucking task, dude. You deserved it.
And I had set the table for Hoodfoot. I had set the table for John Wayne Murdoch. It was Remington Roar, the Carnivore, the final fucking participant.
Remington Roar actually beat Hoodfoot.
Yeah?
Yeah, the finals I'm seeing on Cage Match was Dr. Redacted, John Wayne, and Remington.
And I ate all those intros until I got to Remington. And I fucked it up. I said you have seen him qualify for the finals of this tournament of death.
Oh my God, that sounds terrible. I'm so glad that, I love that there was a fan engaged enough to yell at you. I would have.
Well, bro, I was doing my job. Pat, Murdoch, I nailed. Redacted, I nailed. Hoodfoot, I nailed. It was the final motherfucking guy.
And and it wasn't even. Well, hey, you know what? Silver lining. At least it was within the intro of the guy, instead of announcing like if you had accidentally called it Tournament of Death while you were announcing the finals. You know what I mean? That would have been even worse. If you'd be like, now get ready for the triple threat match, for the finals of the Tournament of Death. Like if you're
right,
done it before
and I did not
intros,
do that. I didn't do that. You're
okay,
right.
good. Because that would have been much worse. But you did it in the context of explaining the third guy. So that's a little bit better.
Yep, you're right.
But if you had come out and been like, are you ready for the finals of Tournament of Death? Shit, and that would have been even worse. Much, much worse.
Yeah.
But you know what, dude? Listen, it's chicken shit. It's chicken salad. I know you're a sag like me, to quote you, and I know you feel terrible. You probably thought about it the whole way back. But
I was drunk. I was very drunk.
You listen. You got a fan up out of their seats. You made a fan feel good. But like I said, if I was that fan,
Pat, that's what it's about. It's about making fans feel like, oh, I got my money's worth. I trolled Larry.
Yeah, I trolled Larry. Fucking idiot. That's what I'm saying. I would have added, you fucking idiot, at the end of that,
because you're a bully.
He was very nice. It sounds like he was kind of nice about it.
Pat, you're a bully. Let's
do Chase is asking in the chat what was the match of the night, but instead I want to run down because I pulled it up on Cage Match, and I want to just do a little word association, sentence association.
Hold on.
So they started the show first round. See, I love this cage match. It shows me the list. I want to see the King of the Ring graphic. I want to see the bracket. I want to see the bracket here, but whatever. Hoodfoot defeats Jason Devine and Jason Rage in a first round three-way Pop My Cherry death match. Larry, did you announce it as a Pop My Cherry?
But I announced that Jason Rage was competing in his first ever deathmatch tournament. I said, making his deathmatch tournament debut. But that match got kind of thrown together because Eric Dillinger and JJ Escobar were not there.
Couldn't make it.
No. So I get there and they're like, oh yeah, the first match is Jason Rage and Jason Divine versus Hoodfoot. And I'm like, oh, well, we know what this shit is going to be.
Yeah, it's going to be Hoodfoot winning. Moving on.
But there was no indication that it was a pop my cherry. But I did say at the onset, oh shit, what's going on?
You're fine.
I'm
You're fine.
fucked.
You're fine.
Am I?
I mean, if it died, don't stress
Fuck, dude. Okay. What? I don't know what just happened. I really don't know what just happened. Oh my God, the plug is burning.
If it's
Hold on,
hot, just leave it. It's unplugged.
Let me see if I can. Does this help?
Yeah, that helps. That helps.
Okay.
Just put on the lamp and leave it. Don't start a fire.
Dude, it's so hot.
So just,
anyway.
I don't want to spend too much time. Just tell me, this guy, Jason Raj, who is in his first death match, what was like the big, first of all, did he wear a shirt? Did he wear a shirt or not?
No.
No shirt. Okay, that's good. And what was his big death match moment? What was his big, pop my cherry moment?
Just being announced by me. I mean,
John Wayne Murdoch defeats Dmitry Alexandrov. Anything to note in this match? Any fun tales or?
I believe it was the first time ever. I think it was the first time ever encounter.
Well, John Wayne Murdoch beat him and moved on. Dr. Redacted versus Dysfunction with a Y. Could you recreate the Dysfunction intro as best as you can for me?
Yeah, I can.
Parts unknown?
Nope. Milwaukee. Yeah, which in Algonquin means the good land.
How cool would it be if they spelled Milwaukee with a Y instead of an I right there up front, just like Dysfunction? That'd be so fucking metal.
Listen. For those of us that know, this versus Redacted was the match of the opening round. Dude,
Dysfunction versus Redacted.
Do you want me to tell you why?
I'm very shocked that Neil Diamond C didn't win this whole thing. You know what I mean? He's in his final year. He's coming out, kind of like still baiting, Jun Kasai. 2025 is his final year. He's a well-respected friend of the Bullies. He's awesome. He beat Bobby V in the first round in a block is hot death match. Sounds like it should be in Kensington.
Nolans.
I'm just shocked that they didn't give it to Neil Diamond. Like, why isn't now I'm thinking about it.
Here's the thing. The fact that you say they didn't give it to Neil Diamond.
Well, you know what I mean.
I do know what you mean, but that's why they didn't give it to Neil Diamond.
It was too obvious.
He don't need it. He is the original Prince of Death.
He didn't even make it to the finals. If he made it to the finals, you could have had a so close yet so far old man diehard moment. He didn't even make it to the finals.
Bro, this was the first ever death match cup.
Death Wish.
I'm sorry.
It's the first ever tournament of death, dude. So Neil Diamond moves on. Little Sicko, everyone is saying is the MVP. He showed up. He showed out. I feel like he got a whole bunch of porcupine quills in his backside, in his kidneys. He won his first round match. Pins and Needles versus Chuck Stein.
You know what?
What?
I actually am going to say that both Redacted Dis and Chuck Sicko were both
Little Sicko
matches, both of them.
Both of them what? I feel like his first name is James. I think his legal name's Jimmy Sicko.
Both of them were matches of the first. Dude, the whole shit was fire, dude. I'm lying. The whole shit was fire. The whole shit. The whole shit.
Remington Roar defeated Michael Kruger in an ultra-violent baptism deathmatch. Did you say those words? Ultra-violent baptism deathmatch. Yo, that's a pretty good Larry impersonation, dude.
Pat.
Yes?
Not only did I say that it was that type of match, after I announced the first match, where I didn't know that it was a pop your cherry shit, after I announced that first match, I said to the crowd, I said, now everybody pay attention, because for the remainder of this thing, each one of these matches are going to have a very specific thing. And that's what makes this the Death Wish Cup. And everybody was like,
They came for you. They came for Larry.
Like, bro, every motherfucking person was like that. After the first match, I was like, everything else, y'all, I'm going to call it a shit. And that's what's going to make this the Death Wish Cup. And yes, I called it an ultra-violent baptism match.
Interesting. I feel like the baptism, barbed wire baptism, was cultivated and invented by Blvd Bullies. You never saw the word baptism in a death match before Blvd Bullies did their thing.
Did we sponsor it?
We sponsored it.
I believe XPW used to run an event called Baptized in Blood.
Baptized in Blood 3.
They've done a bunch of them.
That's so amazing. I love that. John Wayne Murdoch defeated Little Sicko. Redacted defeats Neil Diamond, which is wild to me. I mean, I love Redacted, but Jesus. And now as I'm looking at this and you're telling me that J.J. Allen wasn't there, I'm wondering if they were going to give it to J.J. instead of Redacted.
I don't know.
And you know, Larry, just to get to your point about how every match has pins and needles, ultraviolet baptism, pop your cherry, Tokyo Towers, home improvement. You know, I'm sure.
Hey. Both Dr. Redacted and Neil Diamond Cutter told me, don't call this a Tokyo Towers death match. And you know why they told me that?
Why?
Because they both looked at the towers and they were like, these are weak. They both went to the back and looked at what were the towers and they were like, this is not us. Don't call it that, Larry. They were like, just call it like an ultra-violent death match.
Yeah, I love that attention to detail about their craft.
When you talk about Neil, and I know he gets a lot of hate, but when you talk about the Good Doctor, they're gonna pay attention to that Big Japan FMW shit, and they're gonna pull my bow tie and be like, Larry, come over here.
Yeah, don't call that. They were too short. They were too short to be Tokyo Towers.
Yes, Pat. Yes, they both looked at the Tokyo Towers and were like, no, don't call it that.
Larry, I love that story. I love that story.
Yes, I swear to God, I'm not. Why would I lie? Why would I lie?
And you know, I'm sure Neil Diamond in his own, you know, because that's a humble dude. That's like a very sweet man. I'm sure that he insisted on Dr. Redacted beating him and moving on.
I don't know.
I'm too old for this shit. I can't do a third match.
No, Neil can go. Neil can go. Like me, doing 3 shows, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Motherfuckers like Schlack, motherfuckers like Nick Cage and Neil and Ruckus. Give me more. Give me fucking more. And I want to do a podcast on Tuesday. I'm ready.
John Wayne Murdoch beat Little Sicko. Redacted beat Neil Diamond. Remington defeated Hoodfoot. Those 6 names right there are great. John Wayne, Lil Sicko, Dr. Redacted, Neil Diamond, Remington Roar, and Hoodfoot as your final 6 competitors in the semifinal round. That's pretty fucking dope. However, I don't know. I would have had Lil Sicko do it because, you know, he's been making a name for himself. Like I feel like Lil Sicko's on the bubble, Lar. You know what I mean? I feel like he's on the bubble to really like start getting out there. And he doesn't have a promotion that like, I mean, I don't know that much about the guy. Obviously, the greatest moment in his career was when me and Necro Butcher commentated for him. But I just feel like that's another person who I would have maybe chosen to win the whole thing over Dr. Redacted, who I love. Friend of the program, who I love. I think I would have gone Neil. I would have gone maybe even a Lil Sicko, because then all of a sudden, if you're the promotion who puts the stamp on Lil, then that's like, you know, that lasts a long time. That's evergreen. You're shaking your head no. You disagree with me?
You know, my son, I love you. I love you.
We're just
I love
chatting.
you, my son. I love you. But you are very much a product of WWE. You're very much a product of WWE. Okay? Listen.
Why do you say that?
Listen to me.
Okay.
Okay? Neil was Sicko 10 years ago. Do you hear me? Neil was Sicko 10 years ago. Okay? Now we have to cultivate the next Neil. Because Neil's going. He's done.
He's done.
Okay? Neil don't win it his first couple years in. Okay? But we make Neil. We make Neil his first couple years in by having him be in the Carnage Cup, by having him be in the first Death Wish Cup, by having him make an appearance at XPW that you commentated.
With Necro Butcher.
And little by little, he becomes Lil Sicko. What I mean by you being so WWE is like WWE is all about, it's all about the motherfucking money. It's all about the motherfucking money. And Sicko is money. Pat. He's
exactly.
Money. Yeah, but bro, not if you are building a legacy of a Neil.
But I mean, what about Akira? Akira jumps off the fucking roof at the fucking NHB, and all of a sudden he's the guy.
He's on Sicko's level.
No,
but
because Akira got his moment.
Yeah, he did. He did, and he's in Japan.
He didn't win, I don't know if he won
but that was cultivated. That was cultivated during COVID.
So in the finals of this, okay. John Wayne Murdoch, listen, love him, hate him. I don't really have an opinion about him one way or the other. Seems like an idiot. He's another company's wrestler. He's another 3 companies' wrestlers. Why not at least have Lil Sicko beat him? Why not at least have Lil Sicko go into the finals? Because you have a finals of a thing with another 2 or 3 companies' wrestler.
Oh my God, bro. You don't. First of all,
put your stamp on your own guys, you know? Don't look at me like that. I'm just talking.
You didn't watch it.
I'm just talking. I'm just doing
but
the math.
You didn't watch.
I don't need to watch. I'm looking at the numbers,
You also didn't watch it, so you didn't see the shit where John Wayne Murdoch, after their match, said, "Larry, give me the mic."
Yeah, I'm sure he fucking did, dude.
dude, listen to me. Listen to me. John Wayne Murdoch comes from Ian Rotten. Did you hear the two words that just came out of my Baltimore motherfucking mouth? John Wayne Murdoch was trained by Ian Rotten.
And for some reason, when you say those 2 names, my mind just flashes a Confederate flag.
That's what
That's all I'm seeing.
Maryland is, the Mason-Dixon. You see?
Yo, I was watching Matlock, by the way, the other day.
Which Matlock? Kathy Bates?
No,
or
not Kathy
Andy
Bates.
Griffith?
That's not Matlock.
Andy Griffith or
That's
Kathy
not
Bates?
fucking Matlock. I was
Well,
watching
my
Andy
parents-
Griffith
my aunt and my mom
Matlock, dude.
watch it. They're like, we're watching Matlock. I'm like, Andy Griffith? It's Kathy Bates.
No, dude, there is no other Matlock, dude. So anyway, I'm watching Matlock, and you know, it takes place, I think, in Georgia, Atlanta.
Yes.
And the guy's on the stand, and Matlock is, you know, doing his thing, as only Matlock will do. And, dude, behind the guy, American and Confederate flag just sitting right behind the judge. It's crazy. I couldn't believe it. IWA Mid-South and Tournament of Death, neck right there, together. Arm in arm. Breast in breast. What was the match of the night at We Love Wrestling Death Wish Cup? What was your favorite match? What was your favorite memory in ring with the guys, with the lads, with the boss?
You know, Pat, it was probably the Ultraviolet Gauntlet.
That was the match before the main. That was like the break.
I'm 22 years in. That's how many years I've been doing it, Pat. Going on 23. If I live to December, if I live to
Huge
December
F, massive
4th,
F. You need, if you you need to get yourself a Bullies 23 crew neck champion sweatshirt for $60.
we'll get there.
Go grab that hat.
If I get there, I'll be 23 years in, and bro, to see Anakin and
Anakin Murphy.
Anakin and Jay Fowler, you know, to see all these kids, I feed off it.
You suck their blood.
I feed off it. I feed off it because I was there for Drew Blood and Devin Moore when they first got their opportunity with CCW. Did you hear the names that I just said?
In their scrambles.
I was there. And now I'm looking at a whole new Drew Blood and Devin Moore. I'm looking at all new ones of them that like come up to me and suck my cock.
Yeah. Well, it's probably exciting to be going on right before.
Well, they watched me. I'm old. I didn't realize I was so old, but they watched me and they're like, oh my God, Larry. And I'm like, okay, man. Okay. I'm like, good. I'm like, oh, you're making me feel so old. But I've done it for 22 years.
Hell
and
yeah,
now
dude.
there are like 9-year-olds and 10-year-olds who were watching me when I first was doing this shit.
Becoming
now
wrestlers.
Like 22.
Wanting to suck
And they're
your
like,
cock.
I'm doing it. And I got Larry announcing me. Dude, so I love everybody in the shit. I love Tommy Trainwreck for putting it together. I love Tommy Trainwreck for not putting himself on his own show. Hey, Pat.
Wasn't even on the show.
I love Tommy Trainwreck for doing a show and being like, oh no, I'm just going to be cleaning this place up. I'm just going to be sweeping up at the end of it. I'm just going to be here with my girl at the merch table.
He was
I'm
just
gonna be
sweeping.
Bro, Tommy
Wow.
Trainwreck.
Friend
Tommy
of the program.
Trainwreck
Friend of the program.
ran the show, brought us all together, but wasn't on it. There was a point where I was like, yo, are you on this thing? And he's like, oh no, brother. He's like, oh no, I gotta run shit. And I was like, Tommy. I didn't even realize you weren't on it.
Nice guy. Seems like a nice guy. Friend of the program. Has been on the show.
Hey, we sponsored his show.
We sponsored his show. And, you know, I've been very bad at social media. Social media makes me sick. So I should have probably posted about their show. But, you know, y'all watched it. And you know what? Y'all still have a chance to watch it. It's just out there. You can go support it.
Not yet. Not yet. It's not up yet.
It will be just out there. And you can go support it. And You could give it after the fact, post-mortem views, you know? And why wouldn't you? Because it was sponsored by your friends, the Blvd Bullies. Look at you now. Okay, Missy Elliott. I hate how the nose of the bull is like kind of coming off of the hat. Could you oh shit. Could you make the hat, could you pull the hat, pull just the yeah, pull no, go put your hands up on the flip. And then like pull the flip. Yeah, there you go. Something like that. Something like that. Like regulate that. That's better. And you don't that's much better. Because you don't want the seam to be, you know, like you still have a chance to influence the seam. You know what I'm saying?
Bro, I'm an influencer.
Of seams.
Hey, let me tell you something. I just want to say this right now, and I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck, bro. I was hosting shows that Travis Scott was trying to get past security to get on before he was Travis Scott.
Raves?
Shows.
I love where you're at for this transition. And I'm going to take it in a completely different direction, just like we saw Travis Scott do. And I'm going to get to your favorite part of the show. Yo, that was absolutely fucking crazy, dude. Yo, do you think, before I get to the comments, do you think that The Rock telling Travis Scott to slap Cody Rhodes in the face and rupture his ear and fucking just absolutely demolish him, do you think that's part of like the Cat Williams blood ritual, wear a dress on television conspiracy? And do you think that Travis Scott and The Rock are inducting Cody into that adrenochrome Wayfair, Alex Jones, Bohemian Grove situation? Are you awake? Is that the way that you felt? I feel like we are the only two people who felt exactly that way as we were watching this.
I know Travis Scott. The mayor of Baltimore is Brandon Scott. I was in Chicago.
Okay.
This Pat is big business.
Huge. The biggest.
Okay? We call it big business.
BUSINESS. Big ISSNE. You get it. Big.
We're talking Netflix. We're talking USA Network, USA, okay? And we're talking Kardashian.
Huge, massive, humiliation ritual. I've seen this. I've heard about this. Why were they touching Cody Rhodes' face like that? Why did Travis Scott grab his like neck like that? And you see like Cena was like holding his legs? That was fucking weird too. Dude, they're doing it right in front of us, man. They're doing it right in front of us.
That's the way that it's always been done.
Right in front?
Have you ever looked at Dusty Rhodes' face, not Dustin, not Cody, but Dusty. Dusty.
We're so
Have
fucked.
Have you ever looked at Dusty Rhodes' face and felt like that it could go right up alongside George Washington,
Whoa.
Millard Fillmore, Abraham Lincoln, William Howard Taft? Think of all those faces we saw in school. You know what I'm talking about, Pat? They were on the ruler. Think of all those faces we saw in school. I used to always be like, yo, Dusty Rhodes looks like his face belongs right up there.
Yeah. Yeah.
With all of these fucking Grover Cleveland, and then Chester A. Arthur, and
The belt,
you know,
the weight belt had,
looks like he belongs right up there.
the weight belt had literally Cody's soul written on it and the date that Dusty Rhodes died on it. And they were touching his face and they were caressing his face. Ah. And like, why does John Cena look like an alien took over John Cena's body? Why doesn't he have a tan? Why doesn't he have human blood?
Correct me if I'm wrong. John Cena's first gimmick was the prototype.
Prometheus.
The prototype.
Yes. Boom, 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 boom.
I'm glad you took it there. Let's go to my favorite part of the
Let's
show.
read the comments, okay? We're going to fucking give away the CD that I said last week. Something else we'll give away. I don't know, or maybe we won't, but I just love to read the comments. Been hearing ZMZO, loyal follower and chatter and great viewer, love you so much. Been hearing around Deathmatch Elite that XPW is done. Necro Butcher breaking Dilf Boy's face with a live round will always be a top 5 moment. I feel like that was pre-Larry though, right?
That was their first no ring show. I believe that XPW's first no ring show, Rob Black himself announced it, and it was just at a bar. It was just at a bar in Rochester.
John Richter, who donated $50
Can I get some money
last week.
Pat,
Yeah, we're
thank
like I
you
said,
for
we're
something?
getting you out to we're taking you out to dinner.
That's right. Okay, never mind.
And you know what, by the way, the fact that I helped you fix where the Chicago Bull was laying on the hat.
But guess what?
Invaluable.
Hold on. No, don't you dare. Don't you. I will fuck you. I will fuck you on air. I will fuck you. Don't you dare.
I mean, it looks so much better now.
I don't give a fuck.
Now that's a hat.
I can't even see myself. I don't give a fuck.
I'm just saying, well, you're lucky you got a friend like me.
Well, Pat, you know what?
What?
You should have been the announcer of the first ever Death Wish Cup. How about that?
Yeah, I would have made sure to remember what it was called. That's for sure. I certainly wouldn't have trekked my ass all the way to Chicago to call it the Tournament of Death and have my Chicago Bulls logo nose hanging off of the seam of my fucking beanie before my good
You
friend
don't know what
helps
it
me
means
fix
to be legendary. You don't know what it means to be Hey, we're not perfect. What makes us? We're not.
You know what, Larry?
We want to see who's recognizing the imperfections.
You want money? Guess what? You're getting a Blvd Bullies crew neck champion sweatshirt with the number 23 on it to celebrate your upcoming 23 years in the business, to match, but not match too much, that Chicago Bulls beanie that I forever fixed for you.
Yeah, but you know what? You know what?
No, you son of a bitch. I can't believe you did it. I can't believe. You know what? It might not be today. It might not be tomorrow, but one day you're going to put that hat back on and the seam will be fixed. And you'll go, damn, this hat looks good. This looks great with this Blvd Bullies crew neck sweatshirt that I've received as payment for my work, my excellent work.
No. I
Yes!
don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck. All I care about is that my ass, okay? My ass was in Chicago and went to a gas station with Michael fucking Kruger. Okay, that's all I care about. I was in Chicago on Saturday with Michael Kruger getting a fucking White Claw surge. I'll be back. Can you keep going with the comments and I'll be back?
All right, yeah, you can take a little break.
I just want another drink.
Yeah, you know, I would love
No
to go get
Godson
another
tonight.
drink, but I've
No Godson tonight, so I can go off.
no Godson, only Schlack. All right,
No
you know what?
Godson, only Larry.
Yeah.
I'll be right back.
All right, bye.
I'll be back.
We have Rhinestone Cowboy coming in at 8:30. Thank you so much for watching. I felt bad about how badly I missed my deadline of this movie review show. So I'm going to show you the first 2 minutes of the edit that I've been working on for a month. Here it is. Without further ado, I need a logo. I need an intro. I need a lot. But basically, here's the gist of it. Bye-bye. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Blvd Bullies YouTube channel. I am Patrick, your host of all things Blvd Bullies, and we got a new show, a new venture, a new project for you. One thing that we love so much, more than wrestling, more than almost anything, is cinema. We love getting inside every single frame, dipping our fingers and ripping through all of the celluloid and cellulite of the film industry. So what better show to have than Insides of Cinema? And I have gathered the two smartest cinematic minds that I could possibly come up with. These are my co-hosts, Bald Steve and Shellac. What's up, guys?
Hey, how's it going?
How you doing?
I'm Bald Steve.
Yeah, in case you're wondering, that one's Bald Steve. Schlack's the one with the tie, as you're known to wear.
This is a professional movie review program, so I'm going to be as professional as possible. Unlike you guys dressed down, it seems like.
Yeah,
I dress up.
Cash.
Burn in hell forever.
Yes, I believe this is perfect timing. We're live on the air right now. I mean, the frame doesn't look great, but I feel like maybe I could do something like this. Vertical. I don't know what to do. Hey, how are you? Nice sweater. Is it a shirt? Is it a button-down shirt?
Yeah, it's a button-down shirt.
It's a button-down. 2 weeks in a row. And I've noticed you have a nice Chicago Bulls hat on.
Yeah, I do. My favorite team since I was a kid.
I love the Chicago Bulls. But then I didn't want to be a front runner, so I switched to the Phoenix Suns. When you remember in like 96, 97, it was Barkley and fucking Kevin Johnson and Dan Marley. And the Phoenix Suns played the Bulls in the finals. And of course, John Paxson hit the three, and the Bulls won the championship. And I switched to the Suns for the Bulls. There was a dumb kid that loved Charles Barkley. And now it's like, do I like the Knicks? Do I like the Suns? I kind of just hate basketball. You know who I'm rooting for now? St. John's. St. John's, right in the area.
That's
right in the area.
That's where.
Number
That's
9.
where.
Oh, Larry's gone.
I didn't even know he was here.
How are you? Oh, Larry's back.
All right, there are more. Hey, I couldn't see all
Hey,
three
Larry.
of us. I went
Sorry,
downstairs,
sorry.
I couldn't
Holy
see all
fuck.
3 of us. So I had to do
My
that.
bad. I fucked up the music. Hey, let's start over. Larry, do you know fucking Rhinestone? Rhinestone.
I know him.
Have you said hello to Larry?
Yeah, I said hello to Larry, and we do. Yeah, we know each other.
He's
We
a
definitely do.
dog. He's a dog guy. I'm a cat dad. I'm a cat dad. He's a dog guy.
I mean, I had
Toast.
cats, but they all ran away. I don't know why.
But when you sent me that shout out, getting that OG Larry, you had a pooch in there with you.
Oh, I did. I do.
Yeah.
I have one now.
And that's what made it legendary. That's what made it even more legendary.
It's always got to be legendary. It's the only way.
Yo, Rhinestone, you were doing one of those kickboxing, MMA, Muay Thai things that I often do. You were doing one of those recently.
He did
Yeah,
the
we,
Arnold fucking Arn Con.
The Arnold Sports Festival. God damn, you can't say anything today, really. Can you, Patrick? You eat some peanut butter?
No, you
Arn
cannot
Con
say anything or
was
you'll
the
get.
English that I chose. Yes,
You'll
I
get
chose
kicked.
to say Arn Con.
Yeah, Arnold Sports Festival in their Columbus, Ohio there. And it was a fucking construction zone where we were. But yeah, I did Wacko USA kickboxing. I don't know why they call it. They just call it Waco, but it Wacko. It works.
I'm familiar. You know, I have gotten ringside photographers for wrestling to accompany me and do some of these, like, I've done 3-day tournaments where they just need pictures from every ring. Yeah.
Yeah, you think
Good
that
money.
you think that
Good money.
Oh, it's
Better
absolutely
money than
good money.
wrestling.
Yeah, that you ain't fucking lying about that. That seems like all we're getting booked for nowadays is just MMA combat sports shit nowadays. It's hard to get fucking wrestling gigs, man. Nobody wants to pay.
They charge more for people to even get in to see it than wrestling. And that's why they can pay the announcer and the medical and the photographers more, because they're charging more per head to even get in the building.
Yeah,
and a lot of the times the fighters are being charged to even get the opportunity to fight.
Yeah, I've noticed that too with like Warriors Cup and shit. We've done that a couple of times. You got to pay your way to get in.
There's an
It
entrance
makes
fee.
sense. It makes sense though, logically.
Yeah, I mean,
You'll know the guys that are bullshitting that don't want to pay because they don't really want to fight.
right.
So makes fucking sense.
Chris Dickinson, the Dirty Daddy, he trains a lot of those fighters now. He stepped away from wrestling after like Me Too and COVID. But Chris, the Dirty Daddy, the leader of Team Pazuzu, arguably, he does a lot of training and sparring with a lot of those MMA and Muay Thai guys that probably are on both of our scenes.
Yeah, I saw a lot of them at the sports festival. Billy Gunn was strutting around there with fucking Austin Gunn and, just hanging out.
Yeah.
Mark Henry was there, of course, doing his fucking thing because he's a strong man.
Strutting like a peacock.
I feel like you
Fucking
saw.
Arnold Schwarzenegger looks like Santa Claus.
I saw that. I saw
like
that
you were
video.
within-
Yeah.
You got footage, personal footage of Arn.
Yeah, I called him John Kimball. I didn't call him Arnold. I called him John Kimball. That's what I called him.
From Kindergarten Cop.
Yeah, Detective John Kimball.
I love
I
it.
was high as fuck for
Of
that whole
course you
thing.
are. Of course you are.
Jesus, they were like, it was a very nice venue. They were letting us just blaze right there. It was a good time. You know, we kicked ass on the production, 2 live streams running at the same time. Yeah, I
At the
want to see
same
people
damn
fucking do that.
time.
Same damn time with 2 vapes in my fucking hand at the same damn time.
Sounds like it went well, and you got to be in the orbit and gravitational pull of Arn himself.
It was a fucking chaotic steroid induced place. I'll tell you that. I haven't bumped so many shoulders in my life, and I didn't know who I was hitting because it's just one big fucker after the next. You know, it's just steroids everywhere, energy drinks, squat racks.
They can't listen. They can't eat because they got to make weight. So all they do is drink Pedialyte and energy drinks. They can't eat a fucking thing to make weight because the rules are so stringent that all you got to do is be in 161-pound weight class. So all they do is drink. It's disgusting, dude. It's gross.
They can't wash their midpoints of their backs. They can't. It's like
it's gross, dude. It's so gross. I get sick.
Every
time I do one of them things, I come back sick.
I did see, though, I got to witness Thor Bjornsson, I think Thor, right? The biggest strongman in the world. He fucking deadlifted 1,106 pounds. I was like, if I would do that, I would probably blow I would look like one of those old stoner videos where they come and you deflate and shit. I would look like that. I would just be broken. My asshole would have no O-ring. I'd be fucked.
Yeah, break every bone in your body.
Did y'all ever see the footage of Mark Henry going over to like England and lifting that like weight that's supposed to be like the heaviest weight on earth? It's like, I don't know what it's called, like the Queen's something or whatnot, and it's big as shit, and there's like Mark Henry's in like a ballroom. It's like literally like tapestries on the wall, gold and shit, and he lifts it.
They can lift their cars and parallel park them themselves. They don't even need to fucking park them. They just get out, pick it up, or parallel park that bitch.
Hey, we know you're a huge Mance Warner fan, and I do want to talk about John Cena, but last week we ended with, how do you bring Mance to TV and make it important? And a lot of people commented we're championing the Mance Warner to WWE fan fiction. ZMCO says, realistically, to book Mance coming to NXT would be having him come in going for a bounty or being an obstacle to overcome on the way to a feud blow-off match, like a hired guy, I guess. Like a hired heel against Trick Williams or for North American champ Tony D'Angelo. Brew Unstoppable
CZW's Trick Williams. CZW's Trick Williams.
Brew Unstoppable says, Man Warner fan fiction submission, which is who I stole the title of this segment from. Cut to a WWE live event that is due to start within the next hour in the great city of Baltimore, Maryland. A crew member on a wing and a prayer heads outside to the parking lot to see if anything can be done. Since they just broke in the news, Alicia Taylor has come down with the flu. Oh my God, this thing is huge.
This is some like Larry
announcer. I saw that comment. It's like a fucking book. Whoever that person was bored dead.
Read more, and I realized what I've gotten us into. But I'm gonna continue.
Keep going.
Sir, have you ever ring announced for a show, been a former owner of a boat, or have had a deep love for cats that live under the porch? Out from an aura of smoke, we see Larry the Legend appear with his signature Missy Elliott glasses. Why, yes, strangely, all three of those things.
You're really reading that?
He's really reading it.
All three of those things are true to me. The man in great excitement says, "You're on." Just as we thought things were in the clear, and out comes the cerebral assassin, Triple H. Breaking even more bad news, Michael Cole and Pat McAfee are stuck on the tarmac at Baltimore BWI and will not be able to make the event. Looking at the game.
Oh, God. I wish.
I got 2 men for you. Points to a man in a snakeskin button-up, drinking a 16% beer and ripping cigs. The other in a beautifully bearded, bedazzled cowboy shirt. something that looks to cost perhaps a mortgage or two. These are your men. They will have to save the show tonight, says Larry. The game then asks PKA, are you willing? Only if I could bring my rare teas. The cowboy says, I will also do it, but you have to let my 9 kids sit behind the announcer's table. Triple H takes a swig of water and spits it into the air and says, you got yourself a deal. All 4 men simultaneously do the suck it. We then traveled back in time to a packed crowd. Larry, about to call the first match, is interrupted, and the room goes black. All of a sudden, we hear the old tune of James Ellsworth's music. He makes his way to the ring and grabs the mic directly from Larry with no respect. He states that he is the mayor of Baltimore and was signed to a one-night contract and is issuing an open challenge to anyone psycho enough to answer the call. A few seconds go by and we hear the beginning of the song that we all know too well. PK says, it can't be. The cowboy responds, oh, yes, it is. The Southern psychopath, Mance Warner's music hits, and he has made his WWE debut. And this keeps going, and I'm going to keep going. As he makes his way to the ring, he towers over James Ellsworth. A lot of people said that Mance is a smaller guy, but in this moment, he was a giant. The bell rings, and Mance hits James in the with the eye poke card around the world. Eye poke card around the world. It covers him up. 1, 2, 3. And just like that, Mance Warner has hit the WWE pay window. He shakes Larry's hands and asks him how owning a boat was and makes his way out to the parking lot to drink light beers in his truck with the lovely SDL. PK to the cowboy. Who would have thought? The cowboy looks over at TK with a tear in his eye. Not me or anyone of my 13 kids would have thought this day would come. PK to Hardcam. Out of time. Bye-bye. Wow.
It's a New York Times bestseller right there.
I love it. Who said that?
That's
said
Matt
that comment?
McHugh. That's Matt McHugh, who no longer sleeps because of his child.
Wow.
Obviously, I don't even know what that word means.
riveting.
I brought a tear
It just
to my
kept
eye.
going on, and Mance gets in.
Well, you know what?
Anything to get
that's
Mance
how
in.
to book Mance, really, honestly. Axel Nose says, my crazy idea for Mance would be have him come in the Final 4 of the Rumble unannounced. Have Mark Briscoe and Hardcore Hillbilly help him. Then run through shit up to WrestleMania and have his 2 friends banned from ringside during the main event of WrestleMania. But Stone Cold does a run-in and help him win the world title and manage him and drinks beers and everything's great. Confetti. And then Horror Pain Core Death says, Cowboy's a great addition to the show. Original Sin was killer and the casting was on point. I don't remember talking about Original Sin.
Hardcore did a show recently. Did you see that? Cowboy Hardcore was like doing a show. I saw it in my feed. He was like going through panes of glass.
Yeah, I saw something like that on the social webs.
I don't know what that show was, but the point that I'm trying to make is there was a lot of shows over this weekend.
Yeah,
There was a lot of shows.
Before we get into the shows, I brought up all those comments because I wanted to ask you, Cowboy, personally, as a Mance Warner fan, how you've gotten a week to think about it. How would you write him into the dub E?
I mean, I feel like Mance could just be utilized really any way you want. It's not a complex thing with Mance. He can find his own way really anywhere. But I think that person that wrote that New York bestseller is onto something because we all know that Jay Briscoe and Mark Briscoe should have been in the E a long fucking time ago because of that stupid shit that was said a long time ago. That's why you don't get in. But
Agreed.
Mark Briscoe and Mance Warner as a team is just money. If you were to bring them in, make them the new age Godwin fucking brothers, you're on to something. You don't have to make them any kind of character at all. You just tell them be yourself.
Just let them be.
Be yourself.
And you're looking at money. Because realistically, if you can't look at somebody and see money, you're really not going to make it to the E anyways. And who is in the WWE right now that even looks like Mance Warner? Carries himself like Mance.
Is he going to wrestle in jeans? They got to let him wrestle in jeans.
Well, you gotta let him.
So here's the thing. Here's the thing that I always hear about WWE is that a lot of the times when our guys get up there, they look small next to a Drew McIntyre or a Sheamus.
Yeah, exactly.
They
what I was
look
saying.
small. They look small next to a Lashley or all these big, huge guys that are the norm. So like, how big is Mance, and how would he look against the rest of these guys she's gone?
That's what I was saying last week, Larry. I said
Mance is at least like, isn't he like 6'1", something like that? He's not
I'm
that big.
6'1". I'm 6'1".
Yeah, he's not. He's like your height.
Do you
He's
guys
not that
consider
big.
me a larger man? Do you consider me large?
only when you wear your dead uncle's duster.
Yeah, I concur on that one. I concur
That
on
does
that.
it.
Hey,
Yeah, Uncle John.
John Cena
Uncle
turned
John.
heel. Everybody's been talking
big one.
about it, and the thing that it made me realize is that I want to get a reaction in one of those clip trailers. I want
viral.
our thing to be like, whoa, oh my god. So we're depending on you now, Rhinestone, so you have to do it.
Yo, the last Mania that I went to was New Orleans. Remember that? Roman Reigns versus Brock? 34, I think it was. That's the last one that I attended live. And the guy that I went with just had an extra ticket and insisted that I go. He was like, bro, just come. And I'm like, okay, I'll come. And he was very like into like, bro, whenever something big happens, like Charlotte beats Asuka or fucking, Triple H comes out, like, let's be like holding our hands on our head and like, like, oh. And I was like, okay, I guess.
Like Home Alone
And
in
isn't that the
Chicago
way-
International Airport.
Isn't
Posing
that the
for
way
the
that
Titantron.
isn't that the way Aubrey Edwards got on? Like there's like something where she's at WWE like crying in the crowd.
Crying. She
And you
loves
see
Bryan
her, like,
Danielson,
you-
Daniel Bryan.
Yeah, you see her looking at the camera, making sure that it's about to be on her, and she's like, "Oh my god, I love wrestling so much. I love wrestling."
Oh, see, I feel like takes a special type of weirdo. And I don't think she was posing. I think her life is a pose.
I didn't know she had tear ducts. I didn't know that with a face like that.
I didn't mean to
know.
call her Aubrey Ed. I'm sorry. I listened to a lot of Cornette. I
You
didn't mean to
did.
call her.
I
that.
didn't
I'm
even
sorry.
second guess either.
Aubrey
That's the
Edwards.
bad.
She's a lovely person. I can't wait to meet her. I know I'll meet her soon.
Hey, so John Cena turned bad. He joined The Rock and Travis Scott. The entire wrestling world's talking about it, and we need to talk about it so that we can get into a WWE press conference. So
We are talking about
Did
it.
you guys watch it? Give me some feedback. Larry?
Yeah, Larry, you go
I
first.
was doing the Death Wish Cup. Don't talk to me.
I was doing wacko,
All right,
but I watched
So,
it.
so
you know,
Icarus,
it.
let me ask you this, Rhinestone.
Yes.
When it happened,
Yeah.
were you alerted immediately that it happened? Were you alerted immediately doing your thing that this shit just happened?
I watched it. I got out
Me
perfect
too.
time.
Me too. Me too.
I got out at the perfect time, caught it in my hotel room, set up the HDMI, all that shit. As soon as I put it on, that was what was on, and I sat down, and then I immediately fell off my bed in excitement.
And
I
me.
Go ahead, Larry.
Go ahead, Pat.
I was just saying
you
that
go.
I was watching the Elimination Chamber finish, and I was so excited that John Cena won, and I shut my phone off, got into a cab, went home, put on I was like, oh, okay, now I'm going to watch the Cody thing, you know? And I didn't realize that it like the Cody and Rock thing went right after. So I literally saw John Cena's hand raised. I saw that Cody Rhodes was coming out. I was like, okay, let me shut this off. Let me go to my domicile here. And then so I basically put it back on, watched the whole thing transpire again. So it's really funny because I was like, wow, I'm so excited. John Cena won. Him and Cody are going to have like a respectful gentleman's match. It's going to be awesome, and hopefully John Cena wins. And then I went home, and I saw that John Cena lowered his eyebrows 4 inches. That's all you got to do. Just
So what my take from it was this. When you get a bald spot, you get fucking angry. And it's all came together for John Cena. He's fucking angry. He's pissed off. He's one step away from a fucking CM Punk AEW promo. It's good shit. It's money. Cena, we all wanted Cena to be fucking heel at one point. Come on, let's be realistic. We all wanted it.
But
I'm so excited too.
Can I take it a step further from what you just said? You just said we all wanted Cena to turn heel, right? They're very aware that we are still watching. They are very aware that all of us that wanted to see him turn heel back when we were really shelling out the dough for them, we're still watching. So now, even though we got this new generation of kids, you know, these new generation of kids that are taking over our shit, now they have given the core, the motherfucking core of what got us to the dance, what we fucking wanted.
But I
Exactly.
feel like I feel like I accepted that he was never going to turn heel. Like I feel like I had gotten over it, and I was excited. I'm excited about him being good. I was excited about him being good. So I'm like, I no longer lust for him to be heel. It's great. I love it. I'm interested, but I feel like I had gotten over it, and I like no longer hated John Cena. I loved him for who he was. Finally.
It was Bray Wyatt told us this all 3 years ago. You know what I mean? He told us all this shit was going to happen, and it's all coming back around. Them threes that were getting thrown up, the way that John Cena was always in the background when Cody first got his ass whooped by The Rock. You got to watch. You got to pay attention to everything. You got to go back, watch it 3-4 fucking times. You always find something.
So, The Rock gave the slit throat thing, but he did it oddly. He threw up a 2. I maintain that it was a blood ritual humiliation ceremony. But so I guess the simple question is, what's going to happen now? What's the match?
It doesn't even matter.
I mean, it's obviously Cody versus Cena night 2. I think Cena should fucking win. Let's do a bad guy WrestleMania. Fuck it. Keeps Cody fresh. Cena gets to surpass Ric Flair, and they get the helicopter story further away from a record that they're going to cherish. And we'll do a bad guy WrestleMania.
I think we're only getting heel John Cena to WrestleMania, and then we're never getting it again.
You think
he's done?
Maybe he turns back before the match.
Yeah, he's only doing this to get that belt. That's it. And then he's just gonna simply maybe drop it and then just ride out in the sunset.
I love that you call it a belt. That's what it is. It's the belt.
It's the fucking belt.
The idea.
The only thing I will miss about Cody not being the champion, because it's going to happen, is the way that he carries that belt. I've always loved the way when wrestlers carried the belt like that, like a baby. You know, Nick Aldis is the OG of doing that. and I loved it when he did it with the NWA title.
I noticed that too when he came out at the pay-per-view. He, like, everything he does with the belt is very polished and significant. Like the way that he, like, takes it off and, like, holds it for a second, throws it over the shoulder, you know, and yeah, like a continental boulder. And yeah, it's very deliberate the way that
It's
he
the way
handles
he
that.
represent that belt.
And then John Cena just threw it at his corpse.
Now I'll take the spinner belt back one more time. I'll take that back one more time, and then he could just ride off in the sunset. But I think it's perfect. It's WWE's on box score.
Cody starts playing mind games with Cena.
All right.
He's got the spinner logo.
All right, we got to talk about more stuff though. We can't stay on this.
Oh, it's just the most.
Sabu.
Listen, if we want to get into the press conference, we got to talk about this for a long time, Larry.
I want to talk about Brian Keith and Will Ospreay.
What? What promotion was that in?
AEW.
What is that? I've never even heard of that.
Is that the point that we're trying to illustrate here? That AEW ain't even another motherfucking non-factor? Are we trying to?
It's like when
they're
I'm
not
watching it, I'm not even watching it.
You fall asleep to that shit.
Yeah, it's like when I'm literally sitting down looking at it, I'm not even watching it. And even if I'm trying to watch it, I can't watch it.
It's a rerun of Cheers that you've seen too many times. You know what's going to happen, and you just say, "Yeah, I can't do it."
Yeah,
again.
except Cheers had good music and good actors.
Yeah, but they got boring after a while. Come on, you see them about 50th time.
I would
They're
always
boring
go to
fucking-
sleep on Cheers. I'd go to sleep.
So Brian
You know,
who
at
and
the end
Will
of-
who, what? Dude, you know what? I don't even care. This is the dawning of a new era of Blvd Bullies. I'm a WWE shill. That's all I care about or want to talk about and compliment.
How about Sibu? How about Sibu and how about Sibu? That shit happened.
Oh, there were statements, there was news, there was forward progress about the Sabu Joey Janela.
Fucking right,
Is he fighting someone? Who's he fighting? Tremont?
Larry.
No,
what the fuck? He's fighting Joey Janela.
Sabu's
The
fighting
Janela's
Janela.
dead.
drunk
Janela's
Uncle
hurt.
Joey.
Janela's hurt. Someone is replacing Janela.
No, they ran into each other, and Sabu busted his ass open at the last GCW show. It just happened over the weekend. Come on, Larry, let me fill you in. He fucked up Joey Janela when Joey Janela was trying to give him his plaque for GCW. Sabu fucking showed up, fucked Joey Janela's ass up, but it did not look very good. I'm going to just put that out there. It looked like absolute shit, looked like Thunder Rosa and Megan Bain. I'm just going to throw that out there,
That bad?
100%. Oh, it was bad. It was absolute dog shit.
What was Sabu
but I love
Describe it.
Sibu.
Describe it, Rhinestone.
All right, I have a
Describe
photogenic memory, so let me take my Clyde Drexler 9000s off, and I'll break it down to you. Now, what happened was Joey did his whole speech, said that, oh, Sabu can't show up because he never shows up. All of a sudden, you hear a little bit of commotion. Here comes Sabu down the way, right? He gets in the fucking ring, and he just starts beating the shit out of Joey Janela.
What was he wearing? What was Sabu
Ruthlessly.
wearing?
Just in there.
He was wearing a three-piece suit
I
with
knew
the
it.
white turban on, looking like a damn. He looked like 100%. He looked 100%.
Saudi,
He looked
like a Saudi. He looked like a Saudi Emirate
He looked
nigga.
solid. He looked solid. He
Okay.
looked solid, you know. So he came out. He took the spike and he busted open Joey Janela's drunk ass, you know, and then he put him down and started putting the boots to him. And then you see all the refs, Dan Perch, he's running around like a wild animal trying to wrangle in the three-piece suit. But it was just bad. Sabu's missing kicks. The skewers weren't even touching his head.
Was it skewers
was-
or was it the spike? Skewers or spike?
It was a skewer spike. It was like one spike, one skewer he was using, but he was swinging it like it was a spike.
He was doing like his uncle, the original Sheik. He was doing
Yeah.
like that, but like kind of
Exactly.
like a new.
He had
okay.
I
I didn't see it.
spiky instrument.
I didn't see it. I didn't see any of this, bro. I was in
It
Chicago.
was, they didn't get in tight. They didn't get a tight shot of the actual skewer in the hand, so you couldn't really tell what it was. He
But
was
he
just swinging it.
fucked Janela. He fucked Janela up
Fucked
when
him up,
Janela
busted
was.
him.
And then
Busted him.
Janela grabs the microphone and says, Sabu, I'll see your ass at spring break. And there's the conclusion, and there's that.
But I thought Janela was hurt. I thought Janela really
He was
recently
in a sling.
got
He was
injured.
in a sling during the whole thing.
It was all the work?
It was
Or
all
is he
it was
doing
all
it
a
hurt?
dream.
You guys think he's going to wrestle hurt? Do y'all think that's really what
probably.
it's going to be?
If
He
you're
did come
wrestling,
out- he did
if
come
you
out
have
and
the
say that,
chance to
like,
wrestle Sabu, if you have the chance to wrestle Sabu for his supposed last match, which we know it's not going to be, you would do it too,
Yeah.
I guess.
Me and Pat saw Sabu with his manager, the late deceased. What was her name? The genie.
Melissa. Melissa.
Yeah, we saw Joey Janela versus Sabu the first time in the Queensboro's
Before
Elks
he had
Lodge.
new hips, though.
Yep, he was all fucked up. He was about to go in for his hip surgery.
Yeah.
And he was all fucked up. And him and Janela had a banger.
No,
Now
he looked
Janela's the one that's going to be fucked up going into the match.
Yeah, Sabu, I will say this. He looked good. He was walking good. You can see that he hasn't been in the ring in a while. Like, he was trying to figure out what he was supposed to do.
It looked like he
walking
was
up the
using
damn
one
curtain.
single skewer, says Chase, if you could imagine that,
Yeah.
Larry.
So
Yeah,
he was
looked
using.
good.
He basically was doing like his uncle, the original Sheik.
You know how Sheik used to take that high step forward and really swing that one hand? That's
I
what
know.
exactly he was doing.
I see it. I see it. I know what it is.
Yep.
I get it. Yeah.
Well, other aspects of this tale of Janela and Sabu is that after he hurt his arm, Janela said, "Hey, if I am not wrestling on this show, Sabu's not wrestling. So stop posting graphics about Atticus Kogar." I mean, he didn't go that far, but obviously that's what was in his brain.
That's what I heard. I heard Atticus was filling in for Joey.
Well, somebody made a flyer of it and been promoting like this is what we really want, because Atticus tweeted, "Hey, you're not going to be able to wrestle. It's a long time to heal that wound. I'll fill in for you, bud." And then Joey came out later and said, "No, if I'm not wrestling, Sabu's not wrestling." And then he came out and he did the gimmick that you're talking about. And then after that, after Sabu busted him a few days later, a day later, apparently, correct me if I'm wrong, Joseph came out and said, "Take the ropes down. Born to be wired."
Oh, barbed wire
He
match.
didn't do it as cool. Larry, your face is making it seem like he did it cool like I did. I made it cooler.
Okay, I know he didn't do it.
He didn't do it that cool.
I know he didn't do it cool.
It was much
but that's
cooler
a way
when I
that
did it.
Joey. That's a way that Joey is smart.
Because that's what you should say.
protect-
You should just
to protect himself. If he is injured. That is the way that Joey is smart to protect himself if he is injured.
Yeah, you don't need an working arm
That's
to
why
run
I
into
made
barbed
that
wire.
face. Dude, you don't give a shit.
No, and you know what? If I was him, I'd
That's the
probably
way
be
that
doing the
that
same
match
thing.
can be. That's the way that match can be like, oh my God, Sabu at however old he is doing doing an homage to him and Terry.
Rhinestone, am I out of pocket? Did I make all this up in my mind?
No, Sabu said he wanted to have his last match as a barbed wire match. He stated that on multiple podcasts that he's been on, that he wants to. But he always said it was going to be RVD.
Yeah.
It was going to be that person.
Well, as we
But
fantasy book,
right after Joey got hurt, that's when Sabu released that whole statement that it's not really his last match. It's if he loses, it's his last match. If he wins, he'll keep going. You know what I mean?
going to RVD,
So-
like we fantasy booked last week.
But if it's a
don't know
barbed wire
anything.
match,
I don't know anything. I don't know who to be.
You know who had
Just
a very
letting you know.
serious feud for John Cena with like a week or two? Sabu.
yeah, he didn't do very well in the E format.
No, not at all. He did better in WCW. I feel like he
Much
did better
better.
in his
Much
few
better,
fucking
yeah.
things on Nitro than he did in the whole time he was in WWE.
Sandman as
Yeah,
well.
but-
Hack. Much better.
Yep.
I don't know. I think Sabu actually might have had a better way than DDP did. I mean, DDP was damn near labeled a pedophile for a long time. You know, weird, creepy guy stalking people and shit.
He was the stalker. And Sabu did have the match with Rey Mysterio at One Night Stand Part
One
2.
night only.
Yeah.
One night only.
One Night Only 2.
Yo, you're right, Rhinestone, but DDP took that shot to the dome so that Booker T could be a dual Hall of Famer. Do you feel me?
Yeah.
Like
I'll accept
DDP, Marcus Alexander Bagwell fucked it up. Okay? Marcus Alexander Bagwell fucked it up for their first time out there. But DDP was like, oh, I'll do the, everybody do the W thing. And I'll do it with Taker. I'll do it with Taker so that Booker can be a multi-time Hall of Famer, so that y'all can be Flair in, so that you can eventually start doing shit with Goldberg. DDP fucking took that bullet.
That is very, very true. And I like anything that is awarded to Booker T, because Booker T is like
He's
up
awesome.
there in my pedestal.
Yeah. I think his commentary is like a throwback to the shit that got me into it. His commentary right now, I don't give a fuck that it's always on Botchamania and people are making fun of it. The sound of that on wrestling, Booker T, is what made me be me.
I like Booker on commentary. I think he's solid gold on Booker T because he's different. He's different on
Like
commentary.
Pat McAfee. Pat
Yeah.
as well is another one that's like, oh God, this guy's like calling the word down, da. You're like, I love Pat.
That makes
like,
me
When
makes
he
me
went
want to.
nuts for Sexy Red, that shit was hilarious. He was like, "Oh yeah,"
because he gets, yeah.
Pat McAfee's kind of annoying me now.
yeah,
Not me.
he
can be-
He
Yeah.
goes away, Pat. Pat. He always goes away. That's why I can take him. He's going away.
Yeah.
We're getting him right now hard, and then he's gonna go away, and we're gonna be like, oh, I miss Pat.
Yeah.
And he'll come back.
He'll come back and we'll love him. We're like, oh, Pat's
Yeah.
back. This
We'll
is
be
awesome.
like, oh, I miss this idiot.
Yeah. But we're like very, very heavy Pat right now.
He's a McAfee. He's part of that, counts, the crest.
Who's the
Of
best?
Ireland
Who's the best
shit.
commentator right now? Is it Cole? Cole's just like incredible at everything he does.
Cole's on a different level when you talk about like a professional standard.
He's programmed. He's 100% dialed in and programmed to what it is.
Yeah, but they gave him life. He became a real boy. It's like McAfee sat next to him and he became a real
was
human
hazed.
being.
He was hazed. Cole is from like
probably
97. He's from 97. He's from JBL taking guys in the shower and scoping them up.
JBL probably
He's from
made him
97,
give him a
dude.
hand job.
Cole's
he's
been
all
trained
that.
by. He's
Dude,
been
I would
trained by
say-
so many legends.
Who's the best independent wrestling commentator besides Larry?
Oh, come on. No, let's go back to the first one. I think the best commentator out there right now is, dude, I'm going to, listen, just hear me out. I really like Corey Graves. He reminds me of Ventura. He reminds me of Jesse
Can't hear him.
Body Ventura. Corey Graves does.
He was very angry. He said, I got kicked off my show because I wasn't famous enough. And he got relegated to NXT and he was very angry and he was tweeting about it. And I guess they squashed the beef. But, he'll be back when McAfee goes back to college foosball.
I like Corey Graves. Rhinestone, who's your favorite commentator out there right now?
If I was to pick anybody, I actually like. I'm a big Peapod fan from Ruthless Pro. I love Peapod.
Can I
Shouts
say
out
something?
to Peapod.
Can I say something? Listen, you know me. You know my vibe. You know what I do. I had a way better time with Peapod at this Death Wish Cup than I did with him at 7.
Peapod's a solid dude. I mean, he works hard.
What I mean by that, it's not that I had a better time. I just felt that we meshed better at this Chicago than when he and I were in LA or wherever we were for XPW or whatever, S7. I don't know. I don't know what I'm talking about.
7's got a lot of great stuff coming up. Chat says Ron Nemi is the best commentator right now.
Ron's great.
He-
Ron's great.
All right. I guess that about does it. I'm getting hungry. I'm getting a little sleepy.
Right. Hi, everybody. Are we done? I don't care. What else? Did we do a giveaway? Did we even finish the giveaway?
No. No.
Dude, Pat, do the giveaway and let's go home. Do the giveaway and let's go home.
Anything you give,
Do
I
the
gotta
giveaway.
still send that Chariot CD.
And I still gotta send Urka their shirt. I gotta send Mother Urk her extra large shirt.
Hey, everybody. Larry has 2 tie-dye custom t-shirts available. One
Small?
is 5X.
What
The
the,
moo-moo.
fuck, yo? Yo, I'm dying over
And
here.
what's the other one? Medium?
No, I sold the medium. I have a small.
A small.
Listen, I have the alpha and I have the omega.
The
I
small.
have the small. Yeah, I have the small and the 5XL.
Hell yeah. Right, so where'd you get that
Hey.
shirt?
I bought this from Tractor Supply, believe it or not.
Wow, that's an incredible shirt.
What
My
is it?
Arizona
Let me
shirt.
see. Let me see. What is it?
It's my Arizona shirt. It's, it's just, I like wearing flashy shirts. Makes me feel good.
It looks like something from off of Middle of Beyond.
So
Y'all know
it's
Middle
like
of
Bubbles. Yeah, I know that, but it's like a Bubbles, from Trailer Park Boys. He always wear those flashy ones.
He
I
always
wore
has
that
nice
one.
shirts.
Yeah, I spend way too much money on shirts, and I'm broke.
This
because
guy
of it.
loves
It's ridiculous.
shirts. And if you love shirts,
Love
go
it.
to
Can I-
Boulevard
hey,
Bullies.
can I do an official-
BigCartel.com. Get yourself a Vince McMahon.
I love that shirt. I
Fucking
love that
Salvatore
shirt. I love
Dali
that
shirt.
shirt. I love
Yo, I have
that
an idea.
shirt. Dude, it's
I have
like
an
one of
idea.
our-
I don't know
one
if
of
I should
our
say
best
it on
shirts
public.
ever.
In public. All
All
right,
right,
I'll
don't
tell you guys
say it.
off. But we
Don't
have, I
say
have
it,
a
someone
new,
will
I have a
steal it.
new merch idea coming as well.
Don't say it.
We're not going to say it. But yeah,
All right.
go find yourself a Vince McMahon t-shirt, shock your coworkers, buy one of Larry's tie-dye shirts, buy yourself the fucking crew neck champion Blvd Bullies Bulls font 23 sweatshirt, which your generous donations have gifted Larry instead of actual money for appearing. Thank you, everybody. If you're a friend of the program, please like, comment, share, subscribe.
Just give
Follow
me shit.
Larry
Just
Legend.
give me shit.
Follow Rhinestone Cowboy. Like their things. Do what all the young girls do. And when any of us post a thing, just leave the comment. 3 fire
Fangirl.
emojis. Thumbs up.
Fangirl our
Yeah,
shit.
do what teenage girls do for each other. At the very least, you scumbags. And if you're our enemies, just go fuck yourself and die slow. Because we're the Blvd Bullies. Out of time. Bye-bye.
Before